rock hounding, or we go for rocks, we tumble rocks, and we show how to tumble rocks. So today we're showing how to load your tumbler with large rocks, and then we'll do medium rocks and small rocks. These are the large rocks. These need to be polished, along with this one and this one. Something here real quick. That one in there. And then we want to fill it with a bunch of small. Medium sized rock. Just take these by the handful and put in there. Over by the hand. And what the little rocks do is the little rocks cushion the big rocks. And if the little rocks get broke up, doesn't matter. That one's gonna show the edge. How are y'all today? This one, these little rocks, pushing big rocks. Little rock, pushing big rocks. And then you want to pick it up and shake it a little. See, turn it again. Turn it, shake it again. That settles the little rocks, so you can put it between most. Things like here. Things like over here. And that is enough. Some water in it. This cordless sprayer. And move this so I can show you. You don't want a lot of water in here. Right there's one. And put this back down here. We are putting a teaspoon. This, okay, this is a half a tablespoon. So that is about a teaspoon of borax. And we're gonna put polish in there. Which polish polish I use is 8,000 grit. And we're gonna do 2 and 1 scoop like that. And we're gonna do a second scoop. That's 4 tablespoons. These are 2, oops, 2 tablespoon scoops. Can y'all see that? There's 2 tablespoons. Hey, how are y'all? So how is everybody? Not always. Like the lip inside of here. Hey, Lizzie. How's Lizzie? You put some large rocks. And my idea of large rocks is about that size. This is a 4-pound tumbler. So it's about 3 inches across. And we put some medium sized rocks and some small rocks in there. And we set this for 4 days. This counter over here, I mean, oh, you guys, this counter over here on this side is the days. So we're gonna set that for 4 days. It's on speed number 3. Here we go. Now we're gonna check this tumbler. always point your knife sharp edge away from your tumbler because the tumbler is made of rubber. You don't want to cut your tumbler. That would be a bad day. Okay, so still feel some grit on here. Pour off some of this. This is too much. Spray off. I gotta put this like this so you guys can see. It's a cordless plant sprayer, but I use it for spraying rocks. Sure, so you guys can see. Okay, so it needs some round one for the put water in here. Bit of water. Check one here. Oh, smooth out. I'll take it out. I might take a couple of these out. It's pretty full. I usually don't like to get it this full. So it's jammed up. Yeah, there's too many in there, so we're going to take a couple out or not. Rolling around like I'd like them to. Take a couple out. Stay. The little ones can stay in there. See, if you get the tumbler too full, then they don't roll around like they should, and they don't get rounded off correctly. So we're just going to put some water in here. See if it's step 2 or 3, you can fill it fuller because it's not as important for them to roll around a lot. But step one, you need sharp rocks like this in there, which I can take some of these little ones out and replace them with sharp rocks because I got a bunch of sharp rocks. Ooh, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? We'll leave that one in there. All right. So we're going to take some of these sharp rocks like this, like I have in a pile right here, and put in here. Because the sharp rocks help round off the big rocks. And then when you go to step number 2 and 3, the sharp rocks are rounded off, so you can leave them in. You just need sharp rocks for step 1. We'll take this one out. This one's almost smooth. We'll leave that much room. And put a little bit of also, if you reuse your slurry for step 1, that makes a big difference. Mark from superagates.com said when he does his step 1, he uses the slurry from his previous steps, that he pours it all in a bucket and he just scoops it out, scoops the goop in there, and then come on. That didn't want to come off there. Like that. And then I always take a towel and wipe off the lip and put any grit or anything that's on the lip back in there. Oops. And then we're going to put 2 scoops, which is a tablespoon scoop of 4670 grit in here. And see, reusing the slurry means I can cut down on the grit. And I don't know how that works, but it does. By reusing the slurry, I can use half of the amount of grit and get a better result. And that sounds weird to me, but it works. So as long as it works, don't mess with what works, right? It is 4. Then take a dry part of the towel and wipe the lid. You want that as clean as you can get it. Don't have to be perfect, just as good as you can get it. And then put this part of the lid on, and then take the rag and wipe this out. Because sometimes dust gets in there, or if it leaks a little bit, it gets inside of there. So I always wipe it out. Oops, sorry. That on, that's on 4, that's on 3. Okay, this here, let me guys like this. This side over here is the number of days I want it to go. I can go all the way up to 9 days, but I usually set it on 4, and then it's usually done in 2 days. But I set it on 4. If I set it on 2, and then I come in here in 2 days, it'll be off. And I don't know why it does that, but and it'll roll around like that, and then it'll stop, and then it'll start again. So I'm going to show you how I clean rocks since we're doing how-to stuff today. See if I can lift this over here without spilling. Okay. This is full of vinegar. So when I have rocks that are extra dirty, I do about a little bit of water, and then I do the rest vinegar. And the vinegar actually does a really good job of cleaning them. And the longer you leave it in there, the cleaner they get. Vinegar has just a little bit of acid in it, so it works on the dirt and the rocks over time. The longer you leave them in there, the cleaner they get. See, it went in all covered in like scale and dirt like this here, and now it's pretty much clean. And this one wasn't as bad, but I needed to fill it up, so but this one right here was just covered in dirt. So we're gonna wipe it off and see if it needs to go back in there and be submerged. I'm gonna say yes, it does, but it still feels dirty. We're gonna set that off to the side. Clean up some of these other ones. I just take a microfiber towel and just wipe them. And this is black lace agate. It comes about double this size, and I had to cut it in half to fit it in the tumbler. And now I've decided I want to cut it some more. So I wanted to get it really clean because it's been sitting here in the shop collecting dust for a while. Yeah, I've done that. But this seems to do a better job by just letting it sit in the vinegar, which has got some acid in it, and then just take it and rub it off. You'll be surprised if we do. I don't have a extra container. If I did, I would take and show you that if we put these in there and put vinegar on them. Wait. Um, hold on. Container down here. Oh, excuse me. This out. Oops. I got dust all over me now. Oh well. Let's do this. Right, some vinegar. So we got a clean bowl. And we're gonna clean some of these rocks off and then move this and put the clean bowl here. And then we're gonna do an experiment. We're gonna take I do just about just a bare little bit of water. This is a cool experiment because we're going to take these rocks and put them in a, well, not all of these rocks, but some of these rocks, and put them in a container and then pour straight vinegar over them. And then you'll get to see how that over time that just that just eats away at any kind of dirt or anything that's on there. Now see, this is a black lace agate. After it gets tumbled, all this black will come off and you'll have this smoky agate, and it has like black lines through it, like stripes. and little pieces of dendrite. It's really cool stuff. There. Okay, that's let's move this up. This up over here. That right there. And I'm going to take some rocks from down below down here. That's like that one. That one. There's a piece so big. Watch it. Ooh. Okay, so this is black ice agate as it comes from the supplier. And then when you soak it in vinegar, this black comes off, and this is what it looks like. So we're going to take and put one of these in here. And do I have another one down there? Yeah, what it looks like. Got it over. That's actually a bigger one. I don't know how it got slurry all over it. Been down in here. Have a leak or something. So we're going to take this one out, and we're going to do these two. And that one. I think more will fit in there. And do this one. Might be able to get one smaller in there. I don't have many small ones. Okay, so do that one. That's too big. But we're going to do straight vinegar. Let me move you guys so I don't keep bumping y'all. And you can do 50-50 vinegar and water. I just usually do straight vinegar. And you want to cover the rock that I'm pouring on. Okay, now I'm going to take you off the tripod. So, okay, now you can see that's clear. When we check that later on, that's going to be like a brown color. I do this all the time, and it just amazes me every time. So we can set that. I was going to set it over here, but I got to move this here. Set this off to the side over here. And we can sort some rocks. While we wait for that, that might take a while. Sometimes it starts within a few minutes. Sometimes it takes a couple hours. We're at, okay. But it works really well. I saw Agate Ariel do this. Shout out to Agate Ariel. She did like a reaction type video. You know, she's a rock collector, but what she did is she said, which is better, vinegar, iron out, or lime away? And the vinegar did a good job, but the lime away was the best one. And I don't have any lime away. But the lime away, when you spray it on the rock starts foaming like peroxide foams. It just foams up. It starts cleaning it right away. This needs to go over on this side. See, I had this and I cut it in half. I thought it was sandstone, but it's like purple on the inside. So that's not sandstone. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty. It's got the light brown around it, then that like purple in the center. I know. Bags over here. No, you're killing time. Oops. Yeah, yeah. These are rocks that finished up this morning. I can put them in bags for sale. I do when I have big rocks like this, I'll do two big rocks to a bag Otherwise, I do like 15 or 20 small rocks. Yeah, I always check and make sure that they're shiny. Those two there. I'm trying to sell some of this stuff. The little bags like this I put on Facebook Marketplace, and I mark them as tumbled and polished, $30 for a mixed bag. Yeah, I do. And I do that much in a bag. And if I have some small ones that are done, I'll put a few small ones in there. I want to redo this bag. Got all big ones in there. I'm gonna try to get about the same amount of rocks in each bag. That way, if somebody buys more than one bag, they don't feel like they got gypped. Or if there's like a big rock in there, like that one, I'll do a big rock in those. This all takes time. People don't think it takes time. I laugh at them. Tell them, yeah, you're funny. Like I got this piece of green aventurine. This is my youngest granddaughter's. This has taken 2 months to get it to polish right. And it takes that long because green aventurine comes covered in a white crust. And so you sometimes have to do step one, which takes 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 times before you can go on the other step to get that white crust off of there. And that ooh, then and then do that. That one needs to go over here in the number one pile. See, this has been through all 4 steps, and I run my finger across it, and it's rough. And if I do that, it goes back to step one. Because the purpose of step one is to make it smooth and round off edges. There's another piece of that green aventurine That stuff comes out really pretty. Well, but this amethyst, I have a terrible time with because it polishes up, and then if you leave it sit, it dries, and it gets all milky looking. And I don't think it's supposed to do that. See, that's what it's supposed to look like. Oh, and if you leave it sit for too long, it gets that white, milky looking stuff on it. That is also my youngest granddaughter. I challenged my grandkids to send me a 3-pound bag of rocks, and I gave them each $30. They could spend $30 at the rock shed. Well, my youngest granddaughter found 6 pounds for $15. It's like, okay, that's fine. You're given a $30 limit. Yeah, I've got 8,000 grit that I use for polish. But you're saying I do that, need to do that in, that I need to do that over again, maybe for longer, because I do it for 2 days. I'm doing it for 2 days, and then I take and pour that off and rinse them off and just put water and borax for a day. But doing that for 2 days, they look like that. That's some good looking stuff to me. That green adventuring. Um, I don't know what mineral oil would do to amethyst. And I don't currently have any mineral oils, so we can't experiment. Okay, so we've set this over here about 18 minutes. Oops, I got a bag hanging. We had a hitchhiker. So you saw that that was clear. I'm going to take a couple of rocks out. And I'm going to mix this up. Now look at how cloudy that water is. That's vinegar, rather. That was completely clear. That was completely clear. And if you leave that overnight, It's like a murky brown color. And then the thing with cleaning them with vinegar, you have to rinse them off, and then you have to put them in straight water for like an hour to dilute the vinegar. Otherwise, the vinegar causes a chemical reaction in the tumbler, and it causes it to froth up real bad. Yeah, iron out is good. Um, I usually use lime away, but when I'm out of lime away, I use vinegar. And this rock was dry. I'm gonna wipe it off. I'm gonna move you guys back here so you can see me wipe it off. This was dry and covered in dirt and dust. Look at the difference from that side that was out of the water to that side, or out of the vinegar rather, to that side that was in. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, let's see about the black lace agate. The black lace agate usually has to sit in longer. But see here, this is what it looks like when you get it from the supplier. Now look, the vinegar is taking that black layer off, which when you um, tumble this, it takes the black layer off, but it takes forever. So the vinegar gives it a little help. And then this one, same thing, black lace agate. And this one is going to have to stay in there a little longer. Yeah. See, this one, it didn't hardly any of that black crust come off. So that's going to have to stay in longer. Oh, down in here. See, this is what comes off when you do it in the tumbler. And if we can get that off like that before we put it in the tumbler, it'll make my life easier. Because you can make night lights out of these like this. Where the flashlight here. Use this flashlight. Because look, with that black, crust, I'll call it, off of there, you can see right through it. And so I always thought that that will make a little nightlight, sort of like some kind of light, have it sit on a shelf like that and have like an LED light behind it. But in order to do that, a lot more of that black crust has to come off. So we're going to put this in here. That, and this one has to go in there, maybe. Put that. I went to put that other one over in there and it almost overflowed. So that's not a good idea. So we're going to set this off to the side over here. And leave that overnight. And I'll come in here like in a couple hours and turn that one over that's sticking up out. Let's see, let's turn you guys like this. Yeah. This one is only half submerged. So I'll have to come back in here and turn it over. So that's what I got for y'all today. Thanks for tuning in. Good to see you, Lizzie. We'll be here again tomorrow, same time. All right, talk to you soon. Bye now.